This is a blueprint, and this is the team it comes from. The beauty of a blueprint is you can take it from any game, season, or era you desire. Remember when Chelsea upset Bayern in the 2012 Champions League final? Boom, blueprint. Or that incredible Northampton Town team of 92, boom, blueprint. Where there's a story, there's a blueprint. And today, we'll be using the blueprint of the Premier League champions Leicester City. And so first things first, this is the team that we pick up. We're in a 4-4-2 to emulate that team under Claudio Ranieri, and we're going to try and regrow these into the incredible talents that ended up winning the Premier League. And then we've sorted the custom tactics to make them as lifelike as possible, bringing back that team of 2016. So you've got the Mahrez that will cut in as an inside forward, the ball-winning midfielder in Kante. I really think this is the perfect fit and will suit what Ranieri did with Leicester in 2016. And so that means we've completed blueprint step number 1, which is team style and formation. So we've set that up how we want them. Now we can build on this going forward. Now going into the first window, we always like to get a big chunk of the players out and really start the rebuild process. So firstly, Ndidi has left for £11 million. Victor Christiansen has left for 10.5 million. Boubakary Soumare leaves for 6.5 million. Ricardo Pereira leaves for 4.8 million. Harry Souttar leaves for 4.2 million. And Wout Fast leaves for 3.8 million. We then had some more outgoings like Patson Daka for 3.4 million. Casey McAteer leaves for 3.3 million. Yannick Vestergaard leaves for 3.3 million as well. Daniel Iverson leaves for 1.4 million. And Olabade Aluko leaves as we release him this season, confirming all our outgoings in the first transfer window. And of course, we had to sign some new players. So Shio Fukuda comes in for 1.5 million to fit the Okazaki blueprint. Deshaun Bernard comes in for 2.8 million and he'll fit the Wes Morgan blueprint. Montasar Talbi comes in for 3 million and will fit the Benu Luwane blueprint. We've also brought in a winger Buonani, 3.5 million to fit our Mahrez blueprint. Franjo Ivanovic comes in for 4.5 million to fit the Kramaric blueprint. We've then got our ball-winning midfielder in Valentin Atangana, £5 million to fit the Kante blueprint. Alexander Prass has come in for 9 million and he'll fit the Christian Fuchs blueprint. Mohamed Salisu comes in for 14.5 million and will fit the Daniel Amity blueprint. And then finally we brought in a star player to fit the central midfield position where Danny Drinkwater would play. That is Rico Lewis for £29 million, concluding our transfer business for this summer. And so after that transfer window, the blueprint now looks like this. We have completed so many areas, made some serious progress. There's still a lot of work to do and some oranges that we need to improve and get the right option in that isn't quite perfect right now. But we've made great progress. This is a great situation to be seeing. And now we can go into the season and see how we do. But now that's all done, let's move on with the season. The first thing we have to address is the Ballon d'Or winner, and for 2024, of course, it's Erling Haaland. He always wins it in the first season, but I wonder who's going to dominate football over the next few years. But as we go back to our season, we've done unbelievably in the first half of the year. 26 points from the first 19 games. It's a really good step. Makes it really difficult for us to get relegated now, and we sit in 9th. What a start to the season this has been. I really hope we can keep this up. But I think I see why that's happening. Jamie Vardy, 16 goals and currently the league top scorer in the league. Unbelievable. Now this is both a positive and a negative. We're losing this guy at the end of the season as he's going to be retiring from football and we're going to have a real big position to fill. He is the reason we're doing so well this season. So as we go into the new transfer window, we did have Buonanotte go back to Brighton and Edouard go back to Palace. They've been recalled by their parent clubs. And then on top of that, we have got rid of Okoli for 8.5 million and Harry Winks has left for 6.5 million. And then to fill the spots, Jakub Kivior comes in for 8.5 million and will complete the Vasilevsky blueprint. Jordan James comes in for 3 million and he will fit the Andy King blueprint. And then Kylian Sordella comes in for 2.5 million plus Koulibaly going the other way, and he will suit the Delat blueprint brilliantly, completing our business this January. And so this is how the team looks after the window. I wanted to show you the ratings to see that we're a bit all over the place. We have some star players like Hermansen, Prass and Rico Lewis, but but also some projects like Fukuda, Buonani and Bernard. So there's a lot of work still to do. We're still in a good place and we have a great position in the league. What can we do in the second half of the season? Can we survive this league? And the answer to that one is yes. We do unbelievably to finish 14th. 46 points makes us 10 points away from relegation in the end. We have smashed it this season, and this is the perfect start to this rebuild. And let's deep dive into how those players have performed. Now, Vardy will be retiring, so we're going to lose these goals, which is going to be a real nightmare. But Fukuda, 18 goals, 7 assists. Buonani, 10 off right mid. Mavadidi's done okay, and Bernard with 3 is pretty impressive. 14 assists for Rico Lewis. He's showing to be a real provider for the team, and I absolutely love it. And then when you look at how those players compare to the rest of the league, Vardy finished second with 23 goals in the Premier League for the top scorer award, but Mo Salah did run away with it with 28 goals this season. Darwin Núñez actually picked up the top assist award. Rico Lewis wasn't far away with 12 in the league, so that's still an impressive campaign. And then the clean sheet award goes to Edison with 11. Matta Manson only just finished off it with 10. What a season it's been. He's going to be a great Kasper Schmeichel blueprint. But the final thing to do is look at all the competition winners. So Liverpool ended up actually winning the Premier League. They beat City by 7 points this season. We actually ended up winning the FA Cup, beating Nottingham Forest in a 4-3 final. What an accomplishment that is. And we have our first piece of silverware. The Carabao Cup goes to Arsenal as they beat Bournemouth in a 4-3 final. That's crazy that both of those domestic cups have finished that way. And then the Champions League goes to Manchester City. They beat PSG 2-0 in the final. Anderlecht come out as winners of the Europa League, beating Slavia Praha 2-1. That's an interesting one. And then Chelsea beat Copenhagen 2-1 in the final, taking home the Conference League this season. And so that's the end of our first season. So really good progress made on the blueprint. We've won our first piece of silverware. What can we do next year though? This has been an incredible start. Now going into season 2, the first piece of news is Jamie Vardy is of course retired, as we said was going to happen during last season, but also Danny Ward has left at the end of his contract. We weren't going to renew it, and we just saw it as an opportunity to bring in a new keeper and continue our rebuild. And then on top of that, we got rid of Bilal Alkanous for 21 million. Oliver Skip has left for 6.8 million. Hamza Chowdhury has left for 3.2 million. Silko Thomas leaves for £2 million. And Jakub Stolashik leaves for 1.6 million this summer. And then Bobby De Cordova-Reid leaves for 1.3 million. Connor Cody has been released. Chris Popov has also been released. And then to finish the window, Thomas Wilson-Brown has been released as well, confirming all of our business out this summer, leaving space for a lot of new additions. And so then onto the additions. Joe Gauchi comes in, a complete swap deal for Nelson. He has gone the other way to fit the Sforza blueprint. Owen Goodman comes in for £1 million and will fit the Hamer blueprint. Joe Geller has come in for 3.7 million, and we're going to try and turn him into the next Jamie Vardy. Simon Som comes in for 4.8 million and will replicate Inler on the bench. Anton Stacker's come in, £25 million. We're going to convert him to a centre-back to fit the Huth blueprint. And then finally, we're going to convert Elliot Anderson to left mid. It's a £27.5 million deal, and he's going to become our new Mark Albrighton. And so after that window, the blueprint now looks like this. We're in a much better position. Only a few areas to go, just a few things to tap up and make sure they're perfect. But I'm really happy with the progress now, and this team is really coming together. And so as we move into the season, the first thing to look at is the Ballon d'Or winner for 2025, and that's gone to Erling Haaland. He's gone back-to-back now, 2 in a row. This guy is dominating world football. But back to us and the first half of the season. 8th place currently, 30 points, an incredible start to the season. We really are growing into this one. And to see why, you can look at the strike partnership of Shio Fukuda and Joe Gelhardt, 8 goals apiece. They are sending us up the league. These two are combining brilliantly. And on top of that, we're in the Europa League this season due to the FA Cup win last year. And in the group stages, we finished 18th. Now that will set up a playoff match where we fight Red Bull Salzburg. and that will be for a place in the round of 16. Can we get through? And so here it is, the second leg of the Red Bull Salzburg game. Can we overturn this 1-0 deficit, put ourselves into the round of 16? No, we can't. They knock us out. Sandra and Gorno picking up the goals. Anderson tried to get one back, but our European run is over. And although it's sad it's over, we have to keep clicking on. So we have Will Alvarez going out this transfer window. He's gone to Swansea for £2 million. And we have brought in a new winger. Louis Barry comes in for £4 million to fit the Damari Gray blueprint. This is a great little addition and moves us one step closer to completing it in its entirety. And so this is the perfect time to check in on the squad, see how everyone is performing and growing. And we have some incredible players. I mean, Rico Lewis now 85, Anderson 82, and Stack and Prass at the back with 81 ratings. We're really improving. And even the weakest players on our team like Buonani, Bernard and Fukuda are all improving quickly and are going to be on the right track to becoming top talents. And so that just leaves the question, are we able to continue on this form, keep improving, and maybe even sneak into Europe this season? And when you look at the table, we finished 7th, 59 points, which I think is enough for Conference League. That's an incredible season. We have truly smashed it as we're still growing the team. And when you look at how the squad performed, we had some big jump ups in terms of performance. So Fukuda, 27 goals and 5 assists, Gelhardt 26 and 9, Buonani's been great off the right, Anderson great off the left, and Rico Lewis is continuing to do it both sides with the assists and the goals. This is unbelievable. I love how much this squad has improved. But when you compare that to the rest of the league, we've still had some stand-up performers. So Fukuda finished with 18 goals this season, finishing 5th in the top scorers list. The top scorer award does go to Soboslai, who picked up 28 goals. That's impressive. The top assist award this season goes to Bukayo Saka. He picked up 14 for Arsenal and absolutely smashed it. And then the Golden Glove goes to Michel Di Gregorio, 11 clean sheets for West Ham. Mads Hermansen's in the top 4 with 7 this season. Still a long way to go to be the best in the league, but it's really impressive. But the final thing to do is go through all the competitions. So we actually lost out in the Community Shield as Liverpool beat us 3-1 in that one. Brighton took home the FA Cup after they beat West Ham 3-2 in the final. We then replicated that, winning 3-2 versus Liverpool, which means we will be back in the Europa League whatever happens next season. I'm absolutely in love with that. The Champions League goes to PSG as they topple Man City 3-1 in the final. Athletic Bilbao win on penalties as it's a 0-0 draw throughout the entire game. They do pit them in the sudden death. And then Juventus beat Newcastle in the Conference League final, taking it back home to Italy. But that is the end of Season 2. Another year of fantastic progress and growth. We're really coming together. And now we can focus on the final transfer window where we complete the blueprint and sort out this team so they're ready to go for it and smash it next season. Now, going into Season 3, there was only one player that we let the contract run down for, and that was Brandon Cover, so he won't be with us this season. And then we also got rid of James Justin. He's gone to Liverpool for 11.5 million, and Michael Golding has left for 1.4 million, completing our outgoings for this blueprint. And now we can go and sign the final few players. And then we brought in 2 players to fill those gaps. So Joaquin Panicelli comes in from Werder Bremen for 20 million. He's going to fit the Alua blueprint. And then Tino Livramento, Newcastle's right back, comes in for 40 million pounds, fitting the Danny Simpson blueprint, completing the entire blueprint now after these 2 additions. And so after that window, the blueprint now looks like this. It is fully completed, green everywhere. We can go into this season, try now to push for the Premier League and the Champions League, so we can complete this save and turn Leicester into incredible talents. And so we kick on with Season 3, and once again it's Erling Haaland winning the Ballon d'Or. 2026 goes to the Norwegian again. He is on fire and is dominating world football. But back to us, we're here 8th in the table at the halfway stage, 30 points so far. We're not really progressing from last season, which is a bit of a shame, but if we can have a good second half of the season, maybe something could happen and we could get ourselves into a top European competition next season. And it's clear to see why we're okay at the moment. We have a striker that's clawing us out of any bad situations. We need a bit more from the rest of the team, but Joe Gelhardt, 16 goals in the first 19. He's having an incredible season so far. really starting to replicate Vardy, which I absolutely love. And I made a mistake earlier. We don't get the Europa League, we get the Conference League, but we've smashed it in the group stages. 5 wins, 1 draw, completely unbeaten with 16 points, meaning we'll move on to the round of 16. And then because we don't do anything to our squad, it looks like this. Sardella's currently at left back because our left back has a major injury, so we're just trying to get him back as quickly as possible. But apart from that, there's a lot of growth in the team. Anderson, Lewis, Livramento, really strong. Stack and Hermansen as well. Bernard, Buonanni, Fukuda, all hitting that 80 mark now. We're making serious progress. These guys are absolutely incredible. And as we push into the season, they've continued to be incredible. Now finishing in 6th this season. I'm not sure if that's enough for Europa League, Champions League or Conference League based on the coefficient, but it's still progress. And then once we get into next season, I think we have a serious chance at the Champions League. And I mean, look here, look how we've performed. Gilhart with 39 goals, Fukuda 34, Buonanni 20, Lewis with 19 contributions, Anderson 16 assists. That is outrageous. This team is really coming together. And then when you look at how those players performed against the rest of the league, I mean, Joe Gelhardt has shared the top scorer award with Jack Grealish. They both picked up 26 Premier League goals this season. The top assist award went to Haaland, but Fukuda done pretty well as well. 10 assists this season. He smashed it and been a major reason for our success. And it's another year where he's so close, but the Golden Glove goes to Chevalier. Hermansen picked up 14. He just didn't quite have enough, but still, yet another impressive campaign. But here we are at the end of the season. Let's look at those trophy winners. So Arsenal beat Sunderland 4-1 to win the FA Cup this season. The Carabao Cup went to Manchester City. They beat us in the final 4-3. That's such a close one to getting 3 domestic trophies in a row. The Champions League went to Paris Saint-Germain as they beat Man City 1-0 in the final. Eintracht Frankfurt beat Ajax 2-1 as they won the Europa League this season. And we came away as Conference League winners, beating Lech Poznan 2-0 in the final. Another piece of silverware. We continue to just absolutely smash it. So this is the squad going into season 4. It's really coming together. We have those star players that we've been talking about throughout. We're really starting to see Buonanni, Atangana, Bernard and Gilhart really come forward now, and they're turning into some absolutely incredible players. And so we kick on with our season, and the first thing to look at is the Ballon d'Or, and Erling Haaland has won it for 4 straight seasons. This is crazy. This guy is dominating world football. But here we are at the halfway stage, and we've finally had the big jump up we're looking for. We're in 2nd place, 5 points behind Arsenal, 39 points so far. A really good start, and we're smashing it in all areas. And our top scorer so far is Fukuda. He's a little way off the top scoring list, but that's okay. It's still impressive, and we're up in 2nd, so it doesn't really matter as the team is really pulling together. And when it comes to the Europa League, we've smashed it in the group stage. 2nd, just behind Marseille, ahead of Napoli and Spurs. We have absolutely done incredibly with this team. They are turning into an absolute unit. This is an impressive show. And so we're in a really good position in terms of the Europa League and the Premier League. But can we pull home another trophy? We seem to be just clawing every single one in. I wonder if we can complete the collection of every trophy available. And that has started off really well. We've actually won the Premier League, beating City and Arsenal by 4 points, fighting it out in a really difficult season. Only 4 losses all year. What an impressive campaign. And Leicester City are champions of England once again. This is a perfect way to start off the season, but have we won anything else? But before we do that, let's look at some of our outstanding players. Shio Fukuda, by the way, is unreal. 56 contributions this year. Gilhart has 46. Buonanni 17 goals, 7 and 11 for Lewis. Everyone is absolutely insane, and the numbers they're putting up are incredible. I mean, look here, Fukuda wins the Golden Boot with 26 goals. Gilhart not far away as well with 21 this season. These two are forming an incredible partnership and are smashing it for us right now. And it's even more impressive when you see Fukuda's also topped the top assist award. 12 assists this season for the Japanese striker. He is unbelievable. This Okazaki replica is actually insane. And then it's another season of a close call for Mads Hermansen. 10 clean sheets, he doesn't quite win the Golden Glove again, pipped by Alisson this year. Surely he can win one before this save ends. But let's check back in with that trophy haul to see if we picked up any more trophies this season. Burnley have won the FA Cup, beating Leeds 3-2 in the final. Liverpool beat us in the Carabao Cup final 3-2, meaning we don't quite pick up another trophy there. The Champions League goes to Real Madrid as they beat AS Monaco 2-1 in the final. We also missed out on another piece of silverware, losing to Spurs 3-1 in the final as they take home the Europa League. And then Athletic Bilbao win 3-1 versus Brest, taking home the Conference League, which marks a pretty incredible season for us. We didn't quite get it over the line in the Carabao Cup and Europa League, but we did bring home a Premier League title, the feat that this team we're trying to replicate did in incredible fashion. But now it's all about the Champions League. Can we go and win the biggest trophy in Europe and turn Leicester into absolute legends? And so here is the squad for Season 5. We have our first bite of the cherry of the Champions League. This team is looking incredible. The defense now looks able to win a Champions League. The midfield looks able to create chances that would be Champions League worthy. And I'll just say maybe the strike force needs a little bit of work, but we're getting there, and by the end of the season, they could be ready. But one thing that is interesting that's happened is Vinicius Jr. has taken home the 2028 Ballon d'Or, ending Erling Haaland's dynasty of football. Incredible to see someone a little bit different, but it's always just him or Vinny. I can't really be excited about that unless it's someone new. But back to us, we're focusing on our season. What can we do this year? It's our first chance at the Champions League, which means we could finish the series in this season, but there's a lot of work to do. Firstly, in the league, we're third, 41 points, and we're 6 points off City. They're kind of running away with it at the moment, but hopefully we can fight back in the second half of the year and go for back-to-back titles. And Victor Boniface is leading the way with the top scorers, but Shio Fukuda is not far off again. 10 goals already this season. Would like a little bit more to see him really challenging for the top scorer award, but still a good start. And we're in third, so I can't be too upset. And then when it comes to the Champions League, we're smashing it as well. Fourth in the first attempt is incredible. Only Real Madrid, Lyon, and Stade Rennais are above us, but still impressive. Very happy, and we'll go directly into the round of 16. And so here it is, our first real chance at winning the Champions League. We're into the round of 16. Can we do something special in this second half of the season? And to start us off, we've done incredibly to overcome the gap to Liverpool and City. We are now Premier League champions again, going back to back. We have turned Leicester into an absolute powerhouse of English football. I mean, look at these numbers. 50 contributions for Gelhardt. Bakuda's picked up 40, Buonanni's picked up 30, Lewis with 15, Stack with 5 goals from defence, Atangana smashed it, Anderson smashed it. This team is finally at the level that we want it to be, and now they have a chance at a Champions League title. And to have a look at how the players compare to the best in the league, Joe Gelhardt finished with 24 goals this season, but he finished just 2 off Oscarson, who comes away with the golden boot. The top assist award goes to Haaland. Again, Elliot Anderson's there for Leicester, but just off with 9 this season, he nearly picked it up. But the one thing we've been waiting for through this entire save, Mads Hermansen finally secures the Golden Glove. 18 clean sheets this season. He's absolutely smashed it. What a year, and finally, he's the best keeper in the league. Now, we did pick up one other piece of silverware in this season. That was the Community Shield as we beat Burnley on penalties 4-3. But we do have one other trophy to fight for. We've got City to play in the Champions League final to finish the save. If we beat them, we complete the rebuild, complete the blueprint. Can we go on and gain European glory? And now is the time to find out who will be European champions. Can we go all the way, gain that glorious trophy, and finish off this incredible save? Now, the team we will be using is our full strength team. They are ready to go. Everyone in their best position. We are so ready for this. Can we pull home this trophy? This gives us the best chance. And the Man City team is absolutely stacked. We've got Haaland there, Camavinga, Doku, Mainan in goal. There are some incredible players throughout this team. This is going to be a really difficult one to take home the win in. But here it is, Leicester versus Manchester City. Let's get this done to find out who will be the European champions. Trying to keep it moving here. Looks for that switch of play. Finds Buonanni. Brings it under a spell. He's got unbelievable dribbling. He's got the ball to find Gelhardt. What a save that is from Mainan. That was a dangerous one. Finds Bernardo Silva. Finds Haaland off the post. Oh, that's a huge chance for City. Feed it through the lines. That Tangana goes all the way in. Looks back for Buonanni, the cutback sublime. He goes for the finish. It isn't too far away. Brilliant ball. Finds Buonanni. Little move on the inside. He wants a curler. Good save. Gvardiol trying his best to get in there, but Buonanni's done unbelievably. Good ball. Can't find the space. Buonanni back on it. Little move away. Frees it up. What's the rifle one? Good save. Press down the left, little clip, little move along the line. Buonanni, what a save that is! Short one for Gelhardt. Puts it onto the right. Looks for the outswinger. Buonanni, back to him. Frees up the small bit of space. It's another save from Mainan. He's been unbelievable today. Looking to do something. Bernardo Silva. Clipped into the middle. Header one, saved. Well played from Hermansen. It's a really good ball. Atangana's in the small bit of space. He dribbles through nicely. Kante-esque. Finds it back to him. He goes for the strike. Atangana. And now here goes Buonanni for one last attack. Draws Gvardiol out the game. Takes it past one. Looks to drop another. Does an unbelievable piece of play. Goes for the finish. Mainan has been the absolute nightmare of all of my dreams. Whipped in, not good when Haaland's on the prowl. Atangana's there. Well played. That will be it if we can clear it. Penalties it is. It all comes down to this. Who will be European champions? Fukuda will step up first. He pops in the top left. Brilliant penalty. Haaland. Calm and composed. Anderson next, goes for that top right. Good finish that is. Now it's up for Camavinga. He hits it. It's a great save. We have the advantage. Can we make that pay? Gelhardt. No, it's saved. Oscar Bob. Saved again. Hermansen is doing it right now. Buonanni. He makes no mistake. If we save this, we are European champions. And Hermansen is the hero. 3 penalty saves. Wins the European Cup for Leicester. That is unbelievable. What an amazing save. We have completed this Leicester rebuild. A stack lifts the trophy, crowning Leicester as champions of Europe, ending this incredible blueprint rebuild. thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow massively, really pushes the algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. Comment on anything you want in the future, what you liked about this episode or anything at all. But that is it for this one. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to say a big thank you to the channel member, JezzaBeats318. Continuing for a second month is absolutely unbelievable. But that is it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, guys, we are leaving this here. I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely rest of the day, and peace out.